Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. Trying to wonder why I have an HP Packard thing popping up on my screen while I'm trying to record this video. So yeah, it's not new comic book day, but it's still time to review some more comics, and right now we're going to talk about the Immortal Hulk number 27. Alex Ross still killing it on these covers, man, every time. Um, the thing about this book, well, one of the things about this book, other than for me it being one of the single best books out there, and has been for 27 issues, minus the little weirdness that was issue. Like, I like issue 25. There's like every time you try to talk about 25, people either completely agree with what you said, or they say you don't get it. And it's like, yeah, I know, I get it, but do you get like how a story goes like this? You're on an even keel, you're following a thing, and you do something like issue 25, and while it's cool to shake things up and tell a broad story, a bigger, different story, when you change the tone that drastically, you will get flack from it. You will get, like, people will talk about how that you it kind of messes with people. And that's one of the cool things about this book, is it has those moments, and that's why I still think 25 is a good book. It just doesn't, if you just understand what we're trying to say, is that it didn't fit that, like, we're going, because I know how people will defend that and say, well, don't you want things to, like, yeah, but it was just so starkly different than every other issue, and then to go right back into it, anyway, we're talking about 27 here. Because 27 is, like, I guess the one of the main things I guess I'm saying is that this book is changing. Issue 25 was kind of like that point to show us that it's going to be changing. So some people might not be interested as much in this book anymore because we're kind of off that Cronenberg body horror, the initial beginning of the Hulk, the Immortal Hulk storyline. This is the next step in Al Ewing's story. And it's got to do with how did issue 25 happen, or how to prevent issue 25 from happening. And so we're dealing with Banner's and the Hulk's plan to go after Roxxon. He says, he's going to change things, like he's going to do the things, like he can't fix everything, but the things he can work on, he's going to take care of it. And he's starting with them. And at the end of last issue, Anger has now gotten rid of his human shell and is now the Minotaur, which on paper is it's stupid. His character looks stupid. He talks stupid. Anger is an ass. He's a corporate douchebag. He's pretty stock about that. It is kind of funny watching this guy in a suit, but a bull. But it's Al Ewing somehow makes it work, and with Bennett's art as well. This issue is really, really good. And we see things from three different perspectives in this. But to begin the story, we have a quote from Bram Stoker's Dracula. He pulls, I mean, you know how people like talk about how Tom King uses too much poetry or at the wrong times or too little too late? Ewing always puts some just crazy stuff in here. So his quote is, "He is finite, though he is powerful to do much harm and suffers not as we do. But we are strong, each in our purpose, and we are all more strong together." And I'm still trying to figure out what that means, because do you ever like feel like, when you get used to a book having a lot of meaning and a lot of density, and sometimes it's just a story. Sometimes you're looking so hard that you just miss it. Oh, we're just telling us, not completely a simple story, way forward than you think. And if you're looking too hard, you'll just miss, the basics of what the story's going on. And to me, I think I've been looking too hard all the time at Immortal Hulk, and not just enjoying the story that they're telling here, which is going after Roxxon. That's more, and what they bring up in here is that nobody's really ever been able to hurt the Roxxon Corporation, and I always do this. I keep my thing too far away from me. There we go. So we see things from three different perspectives. See, so at the top panels going across, right, it's Roxxon's perspective. The middle is the Hulk's perspective, and the bottom is the Berserker unit, the Roxxon Berserker unit. And so Roxxon's talking about their corporation stuff, their their deals and how, dips and highs and lows and risks. And I do love though how Agar talks, where he's like, "We're not some mom and pop store that closes down in a strong wind. We are the hurricane. Uncertainty is what we want." So I mean, Agar he's shrewd as hell. I hate him, but that's what makes him a good villain. It's like Cersei Lannister, You can't stand her, but she's such a good villain, or at least was until the end. Um, and then we have the Hulk's perspective, where it's like they have this translocator that can send Bruce basically anywhere he wants to go. And then we've got the Roxxon West data center, which becomes this huge part of the story. Why this target was picked, because what's going on in here is about the narrative. Okay, and not literally the narrative in the book, but the narrative that Roxxon is trying to tell, the narrative that Roxxon has got everybody believing, and how they use that data that they get here to control things, to control people, to control opinions and politics and all sorts of stuff that's controlled through social media. And so we got these people on the ground level, these Roxxon berserkers that they're not gamma powered, but they're each of them are supposed to be able to take on a Hulk. Supposed to, right? I love that they just kind of make that statement like, well, on paper, we should all be able to take the Hulk out. And we got these two guards that are basically at odds. Like, he's like ready for another day of nothing, Commander. So the one guy feels like, why are we here? Like, nothing ever happens. The other one's trying to, like, shut up. And it pretty much what they've done to themselves is messing up their heads. And I also love, so while Roxxon's part about business, like he's talking about uncertainty, there must be winners and losers, the strong and the weak, and we are the strongest there is. So as the Hulk is the strongest he is, Minotaur Anger thinks his business is the strongest. I love the line, "I'm a 9-foot man bull who betrayed the earth to elves, Higgins, yet here I stand. Don't talk to me about risk." So they talk about the the worst possible outcome of using this translocator, right? Is that, well, you won't disintegrate or become a singularity, but a power surge could still turn you inside out. And then the Berserker unit guys start fighting each other. So if you read the panels, I think we're meant to read them though, like this, then this. But I just decided to start reading them kind of like that way. That way I wasn't breaking up their storylines. And pretty much, everybody is kind of on this as each of these events are unfolding in real time. The guys are fighting each other. Hulk becomes, Banner becomes Hulk, and these guys start fighting each other. And Agar just kind of keeps monologuing about business. And in the incoming resource wars, people will need everything from assault rifles to magical super soldiers. Maybe we'll even sell a politician or two, bought off the rack or homegrown. Our kind of people. The masses like to see strength in their leaders. And during all this, like talking about the social media aspect, and meanwhile the Hulk just kind of drops in on these dudes and he destroys the data center like pretty much immediately, and Agar just thinks he's untouchable. And this is where we talk about the narrative. Of all the many products we sell, the most profitable and powerful is narrative. Selectively packaged, expertly targeted, highly potent. Control of what information the public receives and believes is vital to continued business. But in this room, at this level, there can be no illusions. We cannot succumb to our own, and this is when, they find out that the Hulk has just destroyed the data center in Roxxon that he just never saw coming. Like, they've got this place prepared, but they didn't actually think that he's gonna do anything, like, I guess. And so he's like, when he finds out in the end where he attacked, that's when he actually gets concerned, kills the guy that he was talking to this whole time because he found himself in need of a stress ball. So he picks the guy up by the head and like basically crushes him and flings him across the room. So yeah, stress ball. That's nice. Um, and he admits we have a serious problem. And he said, I spoke earlier about creating narrative, the importance of controlling public consciousness. As some of you know, Roxanne West is the beating heart of that strategy. It's the server farm that keeps Your Rocks running. Your Rocks, Rockspace, Yambler, the forums. So like it's their whole social media network that's based here. Roxanne's entire social media reach and our window into the soul of mankind. So basically, this whole place is how they control the narrative of the world or their world and what they want people to know, what they want people to see, how they want people to feel. And I mean, he's saying we reach it basically into their very souls, and now the Hulk has crushed that. He's taken that from them. He says, Roxanne West processes trillions of terabytes per second, a goldmine of personal data, priceless but given to us for free. Roxanne West also runs the algorithms that process that data. That allows us to tailor information to each user, to create loyalty, to foster apathy, to tell our story in their heads. I betrayed the earth to elves, and I am still here. Roxanne West is why. I placed 4 Berserker units on guard, elite Hulk-level troops that train to attack and destroy without hesitation. If they aren't enough, then Bruce Banner will have achieved something previously thought impossible. He will have hurt the Roxanne Corporation. And so we get Hulk just like smack down on these guys, and Anger realizing that he underestimated Bruce Banner and the Hulk. And so he's basically, we're not done yet, but the biggest surprise is to come is that the sun rises, and we find out that when she's like, you got to get out of there, the sun's coming up, and he says, yeah, the day ain't my time, but Banner showed me I could fight that. We can fight that. We work together, McGowan. Together, we're the strongest there is, and this is just the start. And it says, this is the day. The Hulk has found a way to beat the sunlight, and now everybody that only had to worry about things during the evening time has got a whole new threat to worry about. So everybody at the Roxanne Corporation better watch their backs, because Hulk and Banner are on the offensive. No more defense, because I feel like every time, like a lot of these stories, it's always just the Hulk on the defensive side of things. Everybody trying to come after him. And they always will be. But now, even though Professor Hulk is mysteriously silent inside of Banner's personalities, which gives a lot of people that pause of like, well, he must think that this is all folly and wrong. Banner and this Hulk working together are kind of like an alternate version of Professor Hulk. Well, Professor Hulk was he wasn't quite as what he is in Endgame at all, really. He's the Hollywood vanilla version of Professor Hulk. And I still like Ruffalo as the Hulk, but this is something else. Separately and together, of one mind, just not in one body yet, not in one form. Could we see a different version of them put together as kind of an alternate Professor Hulk? I don't know. But so far, it's just more like Banner's just kind of just kicking the door down on things and saying enough. And this is like the first steps really towards what we see happen in issue 25. But as we know, that little fly got time, and now the leader has it. So how's the leader going to factor into all this pretty soon? I mean, he's going to show up soon, right? And it's been a little while, and I'm ready for some leader Hulk action. I don't know if anybody else is, but I am loving that idea, because the leader versus this Hulk and this Banner, it's going to be a fight, man. It's going to be crazy town bananas, because once the leader finds out, like, maybe what the future holds, will he try to prevent it? Will he try to stop the Hulk? Or will he, will he throw in with him? I don't know. It's a lot of things to think about. Next week's cover is pretty cool. It has this, I don't know if you can see it. You can look it up. online, but right there in the corner, wanted, Bruce Banner, and people wearing Hulk masks. You know, everybody picks up a cause these days, and you know, wears, you know, like on Mr. Robot, everywhere they're wearing the like mask and stuff, or like in shows like movies like V for Vendetta, books like V for Vendetta, where people wear the Guy Fawkes mask. So Banner's got some with the manifesto we put out there. Banner's got some fans, and people probably pissed off at corporations. I mean, this is a very anti-corporate world. You know, like corporations run everything. I mean, again, I hate to always bring up Fight Club, but remember, in that book, in that movie, in that book, he was talking about things like the corporations running things. You know, Planet Starbucks. So, and so a lot of people these days have we're getting pretty tired of corporations. And I mean, with Disney running everything in movies and stuff, it's you know, it's pretty close to reality. I mean, I try to walk a line sometimes. I'm just being honest, but you know, it's pretty accurate. So anyway, that's my take on Immortal Hulk number 27. If you liked it and you liked my content or you liked this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, we are past 1,000. And while I am not worried any longer about, you know, the numbers, we still want to see growth. We want to know that people still like the channel and are supporting the channel. So please hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Because we got a lot going on here, and it's not going to stop. This train keeps on a rolling, and we're going to keep growing and changing with you guys. And I want to hear about all what you guys want to hear. What did you want to say about this? Whether you agree with what I want or not. You know, as long as you keep it civil, let's have a discourse. Let's grow this community, okay? Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at reviews_gun. So this is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews saying have a great day. We're going to be back with Something is Killing the Children by James Tinney the Fourth later on today. I'm really looking forward to reviewing that book. It's fantastic. So have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.